All right, when I first recorded this video, I didn't actually know that this existed. I recorded the video, I got home, and then I actually got a call from my dad who was like, hey, I have something that's in relationship to what you just did. And so what I'm talking about is this picture right here. This picture is a picture of a truck my uncle rolled down into a canyon, and that's what this video is about. But like I said, I recorded this whole thing, I published it, and then my dad was like, I actually have a picture of that from the 70s or from the 80s when it happened. So keep that in mind. But this is what the aftermath looked like. You're getting a little sneak peek of it in the beginning just because of the timing of how this worked out. But we're gonna go in this video, go check it out, see if we can go figure out where this picture came from and what that's all about.
I can't hear what you're saying, so I hope it's only nice things.
Hey, we are up in Utah County today. We're gonna go check out a road that's collapsed. It's been closed for like the last 4 years or so, something like that. That road is actually, funnily enough, closer to this side of the mountain, but because it's closed off on both sides now, we actually have to drive all the way around. The other thing that's interesting about this road is my uncle drove a dump truck off it in like the 70s. I'm gonna go try and figure out exactly where that is. I only have like information from my dad on like, hey, this is where it is, it's past this rock kind of thing. But yeah, that's what we're gonna go see. We're gonna go see where he rolled it off and then kind of see what the road looks like now.
Okay, so this road that's collapsed that we're going up to, your great grandpa, so my grandpa, he actually got some contract work after all the mines had shut down and stuff like that. And there was a guy that wanted to reopen this mine up here. I don't know what the story is. This is in the 70s, right? So he got some work up here hauling gravel and stuff. And then he had my uncle, your great uncle, working with him driving a dump truck. And if anybody knows, when we get there, you'll see this road is super, super narrow. And my uncle at the time was only 15, which is pretty wild to have 15-year-olds driving a dump truck on a little bit tight mountain roads, but you know, different times. Oh, you know. Anyways, so they got up here, they were hauling this. It was like a 68 bobtail 10-wheeler or something. And there's a spot that my dad has said there's a big rock, and I know where this rock is. There's a big rock on the outward side of this like cliff wrapping area. I don't know what you'd call it. And my dad says he'd come around that corner, and for whatever reason, I don't know if he's swinging wide, whatever happened, he said the back right corner, the back right passenger tire, just kind of got sucked off the edge, and then down into this canyon, the dump truck went. He did survive, but he didn't have a seatbelt on. He got thrown out halfway down, had to get pulled out on a stretcher by SAR, everything else. It was a real cluster is kind of what it seems like to me. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to go check it out. But that's the story behind, you know, before this whole road collapsed, my uncle just really ate it in a dump truck on the same section of road.
I said, was the road that he rolled off this big?
Yeah, it was about that big. So as you can see, we're coming down this road. We're getting to the spot that's like super narrow. If you look like right here, there's that little divot in and that little rock over there. That's probably only 10 feet. And then it just goes off. I remember this being like 200 or 300 feet drop off this side. It's definitely not that far. Maybe 50, but still, it's not something you want to roll a dump truck off for sure. All right, if I was a betting man, I would say that this is probably where he rolled down. If I'm not mistaken, we're gonna go around this corner. There's gonna be a rock on the downhill side. And my dad has said it was just around the corner from the rock that's on the downhill side where it gets narrow after the bend. And this looks like where it gets real narrow after the bend. Okay, so this is the big rock on the downhill side my dad was talking about. I don't think that my uncle drove off right here. It's just, to be honest, it's not that narrow right here. I think it is back further up that way where we just were. But right here is where the road is washed out and why they have this all closed down. As you can see, they have these weir baskets that were supposed to hold it all up. And I think, yeah, the ones that were supposed to hold this part up are down there now. So that's less good. But yeah, this is, I don't know. What's crazy to me is that this is, well, it is a little narrower. This whole road is shut down because there's supposedly this runoff. But this section isn't really any narrower than some of the stuff we've already gone through up there. I don't really know, but like obviously the Forest Service is, they're involved. They're the ones that are doing all this, but this is pretty crazy. Let's go up and see where I think he fell down. Let's go see what the distance is, how far down he went. In my brain, from my dad's description of this, it would be right here where it gets super narrow, and he would have rolled the truck down there into the creek bed, which I don't know. I don't know how you'd get a crane up here. I guess the spot you're standing on right there is pretty wide. And I guess you could get a crane up to that and then reach down in here. But that's pretty deep as is. I'm curious what the distance is there. 50 yards, so 150 feet down to the bottom. And he lived. So I've decided to be dumb and I'm gonna go down, see if I can find anything. Wish me luck. Oh my gosh. The fact that this is all like super loose shale is not at all comforting. I feel like I've gone a mile. I've gone like 4 feet, if that. I think my next best move is actually get over here. Putting a lot of faith in these Adidas, I'll tell you that.
There's probably better ways to go down. That's all right. We're taking the fun way.
This little plant's roots doing God's work, keeping me up. Oh, thanks. All right, let's go try. Well, I don't know. I don't want to be the second call for search and rescue for this spot. And I'm sure I could make it down, but on the off chance that I step on the wrong rock, we'll just take my dad's word for it that this is where he rolled that off. But yeah, I attempted, but maybe I'm just not as good a mountain climber as others. Anyways, this is a super cool spot in the canyon. I hope they get it fixed and reopened soon. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's not like they can really widen the road that way. If you look, this is all rock. But yeah, crazy story. I would hate to be in a dump truck going off this at all, but okay, we'll catch you guys on the next one.